Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and today I have insanity for you. Yeah, insanity. I say that because this is a collab, not a project pan or anything like that, but this is a series collab that I'm doing with my girl Amanda and my girl Paula. Amanda is Amanda D here on YouTube, or Makeup Junkie 80 on Instagram, and Paula, many of you know her as A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It. She is the same on Instagram as she is here on YouTube. And one thing that we all have in common, besides being female and project panners, is we have way too much makeup. A lot of project panners feel that they do, and we're here to prove it. And in a very embarrassing kind of way. There was quite some time ago a discussion on Reddit regarding how much makeup everyone had, how long it would last them, and stuff like that. And there was some equations done out. I have tweaked them for my own personal usage. I did use their template originally, and I will link that below, and I will link my personal template based on usage that I already do, and I was able to calculate a little bit better the usage. So for me, it's a lot more accurate. I hope that makes sense. And I believe that Amanda and Paula are both using my template based on my tweaks. Amanda and I had discussed some things about how long did it take you to use this, how long did it take me to use this, because we do have or had some of the same products, and we were able to perfect the equation as perfect as it can possibly be. So I am going to share with you some details about my eyeshadow, and I want to tell you just how many years worth of eyeshadow that I have right now. And this is before Amanda sends me an eyeshadow palette that she's been holding for me, that I'm dreading adding in. I don't own it yet, so I'm not adding it in, but rest assured it will tack quite a bit of time onto what these numbers are. I'm not buying anything. I'm on a no buy, so unless people give me gifts, this is not going to change unless it's going to go down, and I really hope it goes down. All right, here it is. Here's the ugly truth, how many years. First, I'm going to tell you how many palettes, what size palettes and stuff like that. Starting with my eyeshadow palettes for 6 shadows and up, I have 22 of those. Yeah, I have 1 eyeshadow quint, I have quads 8, trios I have 2, duos I have 4, and singles, which is my biggest offensive category. Let me keep scrolling to the bottom of my spreadsheet. I have 339 eyeshadow singles. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I know it's pretty bad. So what does this mean in terms of how many years? Let me tell you, according to the equation that I have tweaked from the original Reddit equation, based on using my eyeshadows 5 times a week, which I usually use it a little bit more, but sometimes I don't wear them. And this is 4 eyeshadows at a time, 4 eyeshadows that I use to create a look. And based on that equation, 5 times a week, 4 eyeshadows at a time, what my current inventory tells me is it will last me 48.7 years. That's how many years worth of eyeshadow I have. That's a lot of daggone eyeshadow. And if I was to switch it to 7 days a week, which I do frequently wear eyeshadow 7 days a week, but then I'll go like a week or 2 if we're on vacation and not wear anything at all. So I was trying to average it out. But let me tell you the difference it makes when I go from 5 days a week to 7 days a week. I was at 48.7 years of eyeshadow wearing it 5 days a week. If I do the same equation with 7 days a week, still only using 4 eyeshadows in a look, it drops my years down to 34.8. So all of you that always ask, how do you get through eyeshadow so fast? Or how do you use up this product so fast or that product so fast? 2 days a week shaves off 15 years. 15 years. Yeah, that's crazy. So like do the math. 2 days a week, 15 years. Big difference. Big difference. I own too much. I own way too much. And like I said, I'm going to leave this equation down below. I know you guys have not seen all of my eyeshadow collection because that's not something I feel comfortable sharing. I kind of have a little anxiety just talking about this right now because I have too much. I don't believe in excess. I don't want to live in excess. For a while there, I was all about like, let's buy all the things all the time. And I can't do it now. And do I like new things? Sure. But I also like my sanity, and this clutter and everything else, it's not sane. It is not sane, people. I'm getting all choked up here. So, yeah, I always encourage people to shop their stash for a reason, because you probably have way more than you need and way more than you realize. And I'm going to start encouraging people to do the math on how much product they own. Because I think when I first did this equation, Amanda will correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was like 3, maybe 4 months ago when we first started talking about this. And yeah, I had anxiety, like serious anxiety over the numbers that were on this spreadsheet, and it's absurd. And I will tell you this, as I use up an eyeshadow pan in any of my palettes or a single or anything like that, I adjust my spreadsheet. That's how OCD I am about things. So it is literally to the minute what this years is. So it's frightening. It's not like, you know, I'm half done a palette and I just haven't, you know, counted for that yet. It's accounted for. Every single thing is accounted for. It doesn't account for if I have, you know, pan in an eyeshadow or anything like that. Like, that's just too much. I like math, but that's too much. But if I finished an eyeshadow, yeah, it's already been accounted for. So I got too much. You probably have too much. It's scary. I cannot remember what Amanda told me she had, because, you know, everyone's equations fluctuate based on how many shadows you wear at a time, how often you wear it. And I wanted to show you the difference between the 5 days a week and the 7 days a week. That to me is important, because a lot of people comment on my videos and they comment on Amanda's videos, and I'm sure other people's videos, specifically, how do you go through things so fast? Are you eating your eyeshadows and stuff like that? No, it makes a huge difference how frequently you use it. And it's crazy. It is crazy. Just the difference between 34 years or 48 years. Okay, I didn't math well. It's only 14 years, not 15 years. I was in the moment. I was thinking and not thinking at the same time. But yeah, it's a huge difference that wearing your eyeshadow 2 more days a week can shave off 14 years of usage of what you own in your collection. That's how we do it. And I'm sure we'll still get the comments, how do you go through things so fast? But yeah, I use my stuff. I use it. I multitask it when I can. And I know not everyone believes in that, which is fine. Not everyone is into multitasking. It works for me. I like it. And I like being able to use up products and getting them out of my collection, especially if they're the older ones. And I spent a lot of money on them. But that's it. That's what we've got for you. I don't even know how to address this. I know I'm kind of winging it. It's a little rambly because it's overwhelming to me, the sheer amount of eyeshadow that I own. It's very overwhelming to me. And I will be so thankful when I get some of this used up. I'll be so thankful. And for those of you that are questioning the equation, you can tweak it to your personal usage, really, based on how many days you use, how many shadows you use. And I mean, if you're into math, you can even break down the equation further based on your knowledge of your own usage. That's what I did. And like I pulled my usage with Amanda's usage and kind of came up with that average. So it's not going to be perfect. It's not foolproof as far as, you know, somebody that's heavy-handed versus someone that's light-handed, but it is an average. And I can tell you that some days I use 4 shades, some days I use 8 shades, and some days I use 2. So again, it's an average. It's not going to be exact. It can't possibly be exact. I don't use the same amount of each shadow. Each shadow is not formulated the same, and I get that. I totally get that, but I think this is the best average that we can come up with, and it's appalling. It is appalling how much I own. Again, I really hope you go check out Amanda and Paula. They're going to be linked down below. I have no idea what Paula's collection is because, yeah, she got a lot of stuff and she's not talking until her video goes live. And I'm curious to see what she has. I'm sure she has more than me. She buys more than me, and I seem to go through things a little bit faster than her, just in average, like I said. So I'm assuming that she has significantly more years than I have. And yeah, I am going to say that I've got 48.7 years based on the 5 days a week, 4 shadows a day. I'm going to say she's probably got, I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to guess 75 to 80 years. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with her. Amanda, she probably is somewhere in the same realm as me. A little bit more, a little bit less, but not significant. And yeah, I'm curious to see what Paula comes up with. We are making this a series. I think we are doing blush next. I'm not 100% on that. Don't hold me to that. But I'm fairly certain we're doing blush next, or it could be highlighters. But we are going to go through the majority of our collection, and at least our problem areas, the ones that we don't have a problem with, we might not go through. Who knows yet? But yeah, this is interesting to me because, again, I'm a math nerd. I don't get into like the crazy higher math where it's confusing and stuff, but I'm into statistics and that kind of stuff. And I find it very interesting, very interesting. So, again, I'm going to have my equation linked down below. If I can find the original Reddit equation, I will link that down below as well. And I've seen other people do these videos. I think Corey Side is who I saw do the first video. I'm not saying she did it first. That's who I first saw. And if I remember, I'm going to link her down below as well. I know she just did her concealers. Her other stuff was last year, I think. And I think she just uploaded concealers within the last week or two. So if I remember, I will link her down below. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you in my next video, have a beautiful day.